What is up, beautiful people? Corwin L. Gilliams here from CLG Lifestyle. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the platform. CLG Lifestyle is all about influencing you to loving yourself in order for you to become your divine self, the best version of yourself. You need to have a relationship with love. And we define love here as God. The Word of God says that God is love, and that when you live in love, you can only flourish. Okay, and so this platform is going to help you do so along your journey. And I just wanted to talk about real quick before I get into more about CLG Lifestyle towards the end of this video, is the importance of being, it's okay to be faithful. Like, we should be faithful. That is a requirement to please God. But we also need to be practical, right? And so we live in a realm that is the earth. And in the earth, most things are physical, are tangible. You can actually see it with your natural eye, right? And so with that being said, when it comes to services and experiences, we have to make an exchange, whether it's exchange with money, exchange doesn't always have to be cash, right? It doesn't always have to be monetary. It can be a bond, it can be a certificate, it can be, the same product or the same experience, right? Exchanged between two parties. It doesn't always have to be money. And so I kind of went on a tangent about that because I want you to understand also the concept of faith being a currency. Right? This is a currency that we cannot see, right? It's not tangible, right? It's something we have to believe in our heart. And so I believe that's God's strategy of making sure that everyone has the opportunity to connect with Him, regardless of your economic status, regardless of your tax bracket, poor, rich, ugly, fat, skinny, whatever. God has made it that every human being has a lifeline to His life, to His light, to His love, right? And that is simply seen as faith. Faith is a currency. So when you are becoming the man that or the woman that God created you to be, you're going to be on this journey where you have to live by faith. It's impossible to please God without faith, and faith is a necessity to exchange the blessings, the opportunities, the house, the car, the woman, the wife, the husband, whatever it is that you believe in God for. Your faith acts as a currency to make that exchange from the invisible realm into the physical realm. Okay, that is just how things work. And whether you are someone who's a believer or unbeliever, you have a spiritual understanding that for the most part, that there is an existence outside of our human experience, right? And so as you are becoming, right, if you're someone who did not grow up with a silver spoon in your mouth, right? If you're not an inheritance baby, okay? If you're not a trust fund baby, if you didn't have the privilege and the luxury of having parents or a family that can't come from wealth, right? Then you have to get it out this mud. You have to figure shit out yourself. You have to be proactive and intentional about how you move and how you make exchanges in life, right? And so it's no different when it comes to, the exchange that you're making to invest in yourself as you slowly, incrementally remove yourself from the traditional workforce. So in other words, as you're becoming more involved with yourself and self-knowledge, you're recognizing your value. You recognize that you have more value to give to this world. And so now you begin to seek business opportunities or opportunities to make money outside of a traditional work environment. And now you're thinking, okay, you have an idea, but this hobby, this quote unquote passion project is not generating any income, right? So until that happens, right? This is the message here. Until that happens, you need to continue being logical as far as how you make your money. If you have to have a job just to pay the bills while you work on whatever gifts, work on whatever hobby or entrepreneurial endeavors that you believe in your heart is going to take you out of working for someone and being your own boss, then you need to maintain that job as it pays your bills and ensure that you are investing a certain level of energy and commitment towards your business so that you don't feel shortchanged by your job and end up quitting your job because you feel like you're wasting time with a job, right? And you're not giving to your business. You need to be practical, or you should be giving more to your business, but you feel like you're giving more to your job. And it's really a decision, and it's balance. It's figuring out how, for example, I found out a way to break it down easy is 888, right? So we have 24 hours in a day, 8 hours to sleep, 8 hours to work that job, 8 hours to do whatever we need to do to self-develop and do whatever we need to do to grow and to become, right? So you'll have to figure out how you can balance, right, your time of real life, especially if you have kids. And I'm speaking, I'm speaking mainly for these individuals who do not have any children, who are single. They may have a consistent, sexual exchange while they're developing or while they're in ghost mode. But for the most part, they have no obligations when it comes to another human being. So they spend a lot of their time. At this point, you can spend a lot of your time self-developing, reading the books you need to read, training your mind, training your body, go back to school, or create your own curriculum. ChatGPT and all of these AI software guys they can create a curriculum for you so that if you're someone who's a self-taught person, or you're someone who, because of your learning style, you may be, as they say, neurodivergent, in that your learning capabilities and abilities are different and you need a unique way to learn. This is your opportunity to explore learning pathways. Use AI. Talk to AI, ChatGPT, Claude. I believe it's spelled Claude. These are AI softwares. You can have conversations with these individuals. I'm not saying that you should believe everything that they say, but get a feel of become more aware of who you are and allow these platforms with all of the knowledge and resource that they have to be able to communicate with you in a way where you can be more informed about yourself. So in the context of the learning style, you'll want to have a conversation with ChatGPT or Claude and say, okay, well, design, or what type of curriculum, what type of learning pattern or learning structure should I follow if I am someone who's more of an experiential learner, or I'm more of a visual learner or audio learner. You ask very pinpointed questions about your personality based on what you know, and then they'll give you a feedback. So I say that to say that when it comes to you developing yourself, right? Do that. Be balanced. You have to develop the gift. It hasn't been monetized yet. People don't see the value yet. So you need to work that job that you're able to contribute your time and your service, work with integrity, and use that income to sustain your rent, your bills, whatever it is that you need to do in terms of having shelter, food, safety, clothing, you know what I'm saying? So that you can begin to create, because you cannot create in a state of lack, in a state of survival. You always have to figure out how things, bills are going to get paid. You can't create like that. You cannot flow like that. So that job that you have right now, maybe the people getting on your nerves. Okay, maybe it's time for you to find another job. But always have that stream of income, right? Don't take that leap of faith being silly. Take a leap of faith according to your heart and where your heart is. Everyone is different. Okay. And then at the same time, always talk to God, always communicate to God about, what your plans are and what you're doing, right? Because there's no sense you being homeless out on the streets, you know what I'm saying, unnecessarily. Unless it's a lesson you need to learn or something, there's no reason for that if you can be practical and use common sense when it comes to just daily living. So with that being said, I've been having to have multiple hundreds of jobs. I don't think I reached 1,000 yet, and I'm about to start the job that I'm talking about that helps me to maintain, what it is that I do here at CLB Lifestyle as I continue to invest in others, right? I can also and should also invest in myself, right? And so that's just a word of encouragement for today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. My name is Corwin L. Gilliams. I'm the creator of CLG Lifestyle. We create content revolved around self-love, loving self. We believe that in order for you to become the best version of yourself, you need to have a relationship with God, who is love, and just begin to organize your life, program your life so that it supports this new you, this person that you know in your heart, you feel it in your heart, you dream it sometimes, you hear it sometimes, and you are just on a journey to make it happen. So if that's something that sounds like something you want to be a part of, if you feel inspired, if you feel encouraged, check out clglifestyle.com. We currently have blogs, articles, and just other links that would lead you to my podcast, even fitness channel as well. So we're building, we're growing, and it takes people like you who are inspired and encouraged to spread the word, share the link, share the profile, all right? With that being said, until next time, my name is Corwin L. Gilliams, and I will talk to you guys later.